The massive alien ship descended through Earth's atmosphere on a warm June morning in 2157. Its smooth, silvery surface reflected the sunlight as it landed on the designated area in the United Nations Space Command headquarters in Geneva. This was humanity's first official contact with the Galactic Alliance, and everyone expected it to be a historic moment of peace and cooperation. They were wrong. Commander Tom Reed stood at attention beside the other military officers, watching as the alien delegation stepped out of their ship. The aliens wore environmental suits that made soft hissing sounds with each step. Their tall, thin frames towered over the human welcoming committee. "Welcome to Earth," said the UN Secretary General, smiling warmly. "We are honored to join the galactic community." The lead alien, who introduced himself as High Commissioner Bold, tilted his elongated head. His translator device crackled to life. "We are concerned about your species," he said slowly. "Your world is classified as a death world. The gravity, atmospheric pressure, and environmental conditions here are extreme." Reed noticed how the aliens moved carefully, their movements stiff and uncertain in Earth's gravity. Even with their environmental suits, they seemed uncomfortable. The meetings that followed over the next week revealed troubling news. The Galactic Alliance wanted to restrict human expansion into space. They cited safety concerns, claiming that humans might accidentally harm other species due to their extraordinary physical capabilities. "Your people can survive conditions that would kill most sentient species," Bold explained during one session. "We must be careful about where we allow you to settle." Reed didn't like it. Something felt off about the whole situation. 3 months after first contact, Reed received a mysterious data package. It came from Captain Lisa Walker, one of his best intelligence officers. She had been assigned to the human embassy on the Alliance's capital station. The message was encrypted with their highest security protocols. Reed's hands tightened on his desk as he read the contents. "Sir," Walker's message began, "something's wrong here. I've discovered regular meetings between certain Alliance officials and known mercenary groups. They're discussing Earth. I'm attaching proof that these officials are receiving large payments to keep humanity contained. They're afraid of us, sir, not because we're dangerous, but because we're strong. The mercenaries don't want competition in their territory." Reed immediately took this information to General Harris, his superior officer. The older man studied the evidence in silence, his face growing darker with each document. "This explains a lot," Harris said finally. "The restrictions on our colonies, the safety regulations that keep our ships away from major trade routes." He looked up at Reed. "We need proof that can't be denied. We need a team to go in and expose this corruption." "I have an idea, sir," Reed replied. "We've been developing a special forces unit. People trained for extreme conditions. The aliens won't expect us to be able to operate in environments they consider lethal." Harris nodded slowly. "Do it, but keep it quiet. If they're really paying mercenaries to contain us, we don't want them to know we're onto them." Over the next month, Reed worked with Walker to gather more intelligence. They discovered that the mercenary groups had established bases in systems that the Alliance claimed were too dangerous for humans. The truth was becoming clear. Humanity wasn't being protected. They were being caged. "Your species is still adapting to galactic society," Bold said smoothly during a diplomatic meeting, unaware that his corruption had been discovered. "These restrictions are for everyone's safety." Reed sat in that meeting, maintaining a neutral expression while his mind raced with plans. The aliens had made a crucial mistake. They thought Earth's harsh conditions made humans dangerous and unpredictable. They never considered that these same conditions had made humans incredibly adaptable and resilient. As Bold droned on about safety protocols, Reed's phone vibrated silently. A message from Walker. "Team is ready. Operation Ghost is go." Reed allowed himself a small smile. The aliens thought humans were just dangerous animals from a death world. They were about to learn that humans were something far more threatening, intelligent predators who had learned to hunt in the galaxy's deadliest environments. The real first contact was about to begin, and it wouldn't be diplomatic at all. In a hidden underground facility, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Commander Jack Stone watched his team prepare for their first mission. Delta Squad, officially known as Special Operations Unit 7, but nicknamed the Ghosts by those few who knew of their existence, represented the best Earth had to offer. "Check your gear twice," Stone ordered, his voice echoing in the armory. "Where we're going, there won't be any resupply." The 6 members of Delta Squad moved with precise efficiency. Each operator had been chosen not just for their combat skills, but for their ability to function in extreme conditions. Mike Thompson, the team's sniper, could remain perfectly still for days in environments that would kill most aliens in hours. Robert Wilson, their tech specialist, could operate complex equipment while wearing the heaviest environmental suits. Anna Black, demolitions expert, had modified all their explosives to work in any atmosphere or gravity. Stone looked at his team with pride. They had trained for 6 months in the worst conditions Earth could offer, from the crushing depths of ocean trenches to the thin air of mountain peaks. Now it was time to put that training to use. "Listen up," Stone said, activating a holographic display. "Our first target is here." The display showed a space station orbiting a gas giant. Intelligence says the Mercenaries are using it as a weapons depot. According to their own safety logs, the station's gravity generators are malfunctioning, operating at twice normal power. Thompson grinned. "They're using high gravity to keep other species out. Didn't count on meeting folks from Earth, did they?" "Exactly." Stone nodded. "The whole station's running at 2.2 times Earth gravity. For most alien species, that's crushing. For us, just another Tuesday," finished Black, checking her equipment's magnetic locks. The team's medic, David Cooper, spoke up. "The atmospheric pressure's also higher than galactic standard. They're using it as a natural defense system, which is why we're going in without any alien tech," Stone continued. "Pure Earth equipment, tested and proven. Our new suits can handle up to 5 times Earth's atmospheric pressure." Wilson modified them himself. Wilson patted his equipment proudly. "No fancy alien electronics to fail on us, just good old human engineering." The 6th member of the team, James Miller, their close combat specialist, was already suited up. His powered armor was painted in dark colors that seemed to shift and blend with the surroundings. "What's our insertion plan, Commander?" Stone expanded the hologram. "We're going in during the station's maintenance cycle. They vent excess atmosphere during this time, creating a debris field that their sensors can't penetrate clearly. Our ship will hide in that field." "Won't they detect our heat signature?" Thompson asked. "Not with the coolant system I installed," Wilson replied. "We'll be colder than the space junk around us." Stone checked his watch. "Ship leaves in 30 minutes. This is a recon mission, people. We get in, gather proof of illegal weapon shipments, and get out. The Alliance needs solid evidence of what these mercenaries are doing." As the team did their final equipment checks, Stone received a message from Commander Reed. "Intel confirms 3 different mercenary species on station. None have ever operated in Earth-like conditions. Use that to your advantage. Good hunting, Ghosts." The team boarded their ship, a sleek vessel designed specifically for their unit. It looked like a normal cargo hauler from the outside, but its interior was packed with Earth's most advanced stealth technology. "Remember," Stone said as they prepared for launch, "we're not just soldiers on this mission. We're Earth's message to the galaxy. They think they can cage us in our death world. Time to show them that was a mistake." The ship lifted off silently, its dark hull blending with the night sky. As they broke through Earth's atmosphere, Stone watched his team. Each of them had proven themselves in conditions that would kill most aliens instantly. They were the product of a planet that had forged humanity in fire and pressure, in storms and ice, in endless challenges that had made humans adaptable and fierce. The aliens called Earth a death world. Soon, they would learn that its children were even deadlier. As their ship accelerated towards their target, Stone smiled grimly. The ghosts were going hunting, and their prey had no idea what was coming. Everything went wrong 3 hours into Delta Squad's mission. The ghosts had successfully infiltrated the space station, moving silently through its high-gravity corridors when the station's alarms suddenly blared to life. "We've been set up," Stone whispered through the team's comm system. Someone knew we were coming. They were deep in the station's cargo section, surrounded by towering containers of weapons. The proof they needed was right here, but now they were trapped. The sound of heavy doors sealing echoed through the station. "Multiple contacts," Thompson reported from his overwatch position. "At least 30 mercenaries. 3 different species. They're wearing powered armor to handle the gravity." Stone watched through his helmet's display as red dots appeared on his tactical map. The mercenaries were moving in a standard containment pattern, clearly expecting their high-gravity trap to have weakened the human intruders. "They think we're struggling to move," Black said, checking her demolition charges. 2.2 Earth gravity would have most species crawling on the ground. Stone smiled behind his helmet. "Let's use that. Wilson, kill the lights in sectors 7 through 12. Miller, you're with me. Thompson, find high ground. Cooper and Black, set up our exit. Time to show them what Deathworlders can do." The lights went out in a cascading wave of darkness. The mercenaries' confused shouts echoed through their comms as Stone and his team moved into position. Years of training in Earth's harshest environments had prepared them for exactly this kind of fight. "They're using thermal imaging," Wilson reported, watching through the security feeds he'd hacked. "Standard alien tech, not designed for Earth-level heat signatures." "Perfect," Stone replied. "Execute pattern Delta." The first group of mercenaries moved cautiously through the darkened cargo bay. Their powered armor whined as it helped them cope with the crushing gravity. They swept their weapons back and forth, searching for the humans they expected to find gasping and crawling on the floor. Instead, death came from above. Miller dropped silently from the ceiling containers, his Earth-made armor letting him move in perfect silence. Before the mercenaries could look up, he had disabled 3 of their armor suits with precise strikes to their power units. The aliens inside collapsed under the gravity their bodies weren't designed to handle. "Contact east," Thompson called out, his rifle cracking 3 times. 3 more mercenaries fell, their helmet visors shattered by shots no alien believed possible in such high gravity. The remaining mercenaries panicked. Their commander's voice filled the station's comm system. "Impossible. No one can fight effectively in this gravity." "That's where you're wrong," Stone said as he moved through the shadows. "We grew up in it." Black's voice came over the team's comms. "Charges set, Commander. Our exit route is ready." The mercenaries tried to regroup, forming a defensive circle. Their weapons trembled as the soldiers fought against the gravity. Sweat showed through their environmental suits. The high pressure and gravity were wearing them down. "Now," Stone ordered. Wilson triggered the station's atmospheric controls. Pressure in the cargo bay increased by another 30%. The mercenaries staggered, their armor creaking under the strain. For Delta Squad, it was just another day of training. The ghosts struck from all directions. Miller's close combat skills proved lethal. No alien was prepared for a human who could move so fast in high gravity. Thompson's shots found targets with impossible accuracy. Stone and Cooper worked as a team, systematically disabling mercenary after mercenary. "Please," the mercenary commander called out. "We surrender. What are you?" "We're humans," Stone replied, appearing beside the alien commander like a ghost. "And you should have left us alone." 15 minutes later, Delta Squad stood in the station's control room. The surviving mercenaries were secured, and Wilson was downloading proof of their illegal operations. "Command, this is Ghost Lead," Stone reported. "Mission accomplished. We have evidence of weapons smuggling, illegal tech, and collaboration with corrupt Alliance officials, plus a few dozen mercenaries who'd love to tell their friends why they should never mess with humans again." "Copy that, Ghost Lead," Commander Reed's voice crackled through the comm. The Alliance peacekeepers are on their way. Good work showing them why they shouldn't underestimate Deathworlders. As Stone looked at his team, he knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy had tried to cage humanity out of fear. Instead, they created something far more dangerous. Soldiers who turned their greatest fears into weapons. The legend of the ghosts was born, and the galaxy would never be the same. 1 month after the space station incident, the Galactic Alliance had no choice but to acknowledge humanity's strength. The evidence Delta Squad gathered exposed deep corruption and forced the Alliance to take action against the mercenary groups. Stone stood before a holographic display showing 3 different mercenary bases. This time, they weren't hunting in secret. This was Operation Thunderstrike, the first officially sanctioned human military operation in galactic space. 3 targets, 3 ghost teams, Stone explained to the assembled soldiers. The original Delta Squad had trained 2 new teams, and now 21 of Earth's deadliest soldiers prepared for combat. Ghost 2 will hit the base on the ice moon, Stone continued, pointing to a frozen world. Temperature is -200 degrees. The mercenaries think it's too cold for any species to fight in. They've never been to Siberia in winter, joked Miller, now Ghost 2's commander. Stone nodded and pointed to the second target. Ghost 3 takes the radiation planet. Background radiation would kill most aliens in minutes. Even with shields, they can only stay for short periods. Sounds like a normal day at Chernobyl's exclusion zone, Black commented, leading Ghost 3. Original Ghost team. We're hitting their main base, Stone finished. It's on a heavy gravity planet during its storm season. Gravity is 3 times Earth normal, with toxic rain and constant lightning. Wilson checked his datapad. Their logs show they think it's the perfect natural defense. No one would be crazy enough to attack in those conditions. Then they clearly don't know humans very well, Thompson said, cleaning his rifle. The operation began 12 hours later. 3 stealth ships dropped from hyperspace near their targets. The mercenaries had grown overconfident, thinking their chosen bases were untouchable. Ghost 2 landed on the ice moon first. The mercenaries detected them immediately but weren't worried. No one could fight in such extreme cold. They were wrong. Miller led his team across the frozen surface, their Earth-designed suits handling the cold easily. The mercenaries' weapons froze and jammed. Their movements were slow and clumsy in the cold. Ghost 2 moved through them like shadows, disabling their base's defenses one by one. Ghost 2, objective complete, Miller reported. Base secured. You should see their faces when we took off our helmets to talk to them. They thought we'd freeze instantly. On the radiation planet, Ghost 3 faced different challenges. The mercenaries had built their base underground, thinking the radiation above would keep them safe. They really should have studied Earth's history better, Black said as her team deployed special equipment. Humans have been dealing with radiation since the 1940s. Ghost 3 used the radiation to their advantage. They released remote drones that looked like radiation distortions on scanners. While the mercenaries were distracted, Black's team breached their base from 3 different points. Ghost 3, reporting success. Black called in. The mercenaries surrendered as soon as they realized we could fight at full strength despite the radiation. Some of them were physically sick when they saw how long we could operate in the hot zone. At the main base, Stone led the original Ghost team through the storm-ravaged landscape. Lightning flashed constantly around them, but their suits were insulated. The heavy gravity only made them more dangerous. They'd trained for these conditions. They're in total panic, Wilson reported, monitoring enemy communications. They're saying we're not natural, that nothing should be able to fight in this storm. Stone led his team straight through the base's front door. The mercenaries had energy shields against the lightning, but weren't prepared for humans who could run and fight in triple gravity. The battle was over in minutes. Ghost lead to command, Stone reported. Main base captured. Operation Thunderstrike is a complete success. Back at Alliance headquarters, the footage from the operation caused an uproar. Species from across the galaxy watched in shock as humans operated easily in conditions they considered lethal. By the stars, one Alliance official whispered, watching humans walk unprotected through radiation that would kill his species instantly. What did their world do to them? Commander Reed smiled as he watched the reactions. It made us strong, he said. And now the galaxy knows why Earth is called a death world. Not because it's dangerous to us, but because it created something the galaxy wasn't ready for. Humans who turned deadly conditions into advantages. The message was clear. The mercenaries had tried to use harsh environments as weapons against humanity. Instead, they'd only proved why humans were the most feared soldiers in the galaxy. Operation Thunderstrike became a legend, taught in military academies across the stars as the day everyone learned why you don't underestimate Deathworlders. The human colony of New Eden was supposed to be safe. After Operation Thunderstrike, most mercenary groups stayed far away from human territories. But the warlord known as First Fang was different. He led the largest remaining mercenary fleet, and he wanted revenge. "They're coming out of hyperspace," the colony's defense officer reported. 30 ships, over 2,000 ground troops. Stone watched the tactical display from inside the colony's command center. All 3 ghost teams were present, brought in secretly days before when intelligence warned of the attack. "They picked their timing well," Miller said, looking at the weather readings. Category 5 hurricane approaching. "Most reinforcements won't be able to land in that." Stone smiled grimly. "They think the storm will help them. Let's prove them wrong." The colony had 5,000 civilians in underground shelters. On the surface, wind speeds were reaching 300 miles per hour. Rain thick, with naturally occurring acid pounded the reinforced buildings. "Enemy dropships launching," Wilson reported. "They're using the storm for cover." "Perfect," Stone replied. "Execute Plan Tempest." Outside, the storm raged. First Fang's forces landed in tight formations, their powered armor protecting them from the acid rain. Their commander's voice boomed over their communications. "The humans will be trapped in their bunkers," he said. "This storm would kill most species. We'll break into their shelters and—" His voice cut off as he saw 3 shapes walking calmly through the storm. 3 humans in light combat gear, seemingly unaffected by the hurricane force winds. "Impossible," First Fang roared. "Nothing can survive in that storm unprotected." "You really should have studied Earth's weather," Stone's voice replied over the open channel. "We call this hurricane season. Just another summer day where we come from." The trap was sprung. While First Fang's forces were distracted by the 3 decoys, actually advanced drones designed by Wilson, the real ghost team struck. Thompson's sniper fire came first, the special rounds perfectly calculated for the wind conditions. Years of training in Earth's worst storms made this almost easy for him. 8 down, he reported calmly. "They're bunching up. Never fought in a storm before. Poor things." Black's team had planted sonic devices throughout the landing zone. When activated, they created frequencies that disrupted the mercenaries' armor systems. In the heavy storm, many aliens found themselves unable to stand. "Ghost 3, moving in," Black reported. "They're struggling with the gravity and wind. This is almost unfair." Miller led Ghost 2 in a direct assault. The mercenaries, already disoriented by the storm and sonic attacks, weren't prepared for humans who could fight at full strength in these conditions. "They're breaking," Miller called out. "Can't handle the weather and a fight at the same time." First Fang, watching his forces fall apart, made a desperate move. He ordered his troops to fire blindly, hoping to hit something in the storm. "Bad move," Stone said. He gave the signal, and Wilson activated the colony's hidden defense system. Lightning rods around the colony activated, drawing the natural electricity from the storm. The energy was channeled into electromagnetic pulses that fried the mercenaries' weapons and armor systems. "You don't use electricity as a weapon against humans," Wilson commented. "We've been handling lightning since Ben Franklin." The battle turned into a rout. Without their powered armor, The alien mercenaries could barely move in the colony's Earth-like gravity. The storm that was supposed to trap the humans instead became their greatest weapon. First Fang tried to retreat, but his dropships couldn't safely take off in the hurricane. He watched in horror as humans moved through the storm like ghosts, disabling his forces with terrifying efficiency. "We surrender," he finally called out. "By the void, what are you people?" Stone walked up to the alien warlord, acid rain rolling off his combat suit. "We're from Earth. We grew up with storms that could level cities, weather that could freeze or boil you alive, and gravity that would crush most species. Did you really think a little hurricane would stop us?" The siege of New Eden lasted less than 2 hours. When Alliance peacekeepers finally arrived after the storm, they found over 2,000 mercenaries in custody and not a single human casualty. The message spread quickly across the galaxy. Humans didn't just survive in deadly conditions, they thrived in them. The name Death Ghosts took on new meaning, and even the bravest mercenaries learned to check the weather before attacking human colonies. After all, on human worlds, the weather itself fought for the Deathworlders. The success at New Eden changed everything. First Fang's captured data files revealed something bigger than anyone expected: a list of corrupt Alliance officials who had been profiting from keeping humans contained. Now it was time for the final strike. Stone stood before all 3 ghost teams in the briefing room of their stealth carrier. The holographic display showed their target: a luxury space station hidden in an asteroid field. "This is where they all meet," Stone explained. "Corrupt officials, mercenary leaders, and weapons dealers. They're having an emergency meeting today to discuss the human problem." Wilson pulled up more details on the display. They chose this location because the asteroid field is highly radioactive and filled with toxic gases. The station has special shielding. They think it's completely safe from human attack. "Again with the radiation," Thompson chuckled. "You'd think they'd learn." Black studied the station's layout. Heavy security inside. Guards from 5 different mercenary groups. "They're working together for the first time. They're that scared of us now." "Good," Miller said, checking his weapons. "Scared people make mistakes." Stone pointed to the station's defense systems. "They have energy shields, automated turrets, and emergency protocols that vent whole sections into space. But they have one weakness. They never expected anyone to attack from outside the station." "Because that would be suicide, right?" Cooper asked with a grin. "No one could survive in that environment." "Exactly," Stone replied. "Which is why we're going to do exactly that." The plan was bold, even for the ghosts. All 3 teams would spacewalk through the radioactive asteroid field, using the rocks for cover. Their new suits, designed based on their previous missions, could handle both the radiation and the toxic gases. "Remember," Stone said as they prepared to launch, "this isn't just about catching bad guys. This is about showing the galaxy that humans won't be caged. Not by nature, not by aliens, and not by corrupt politicians." They moved out in perfect silence. 21 humans drifting through space, navigating between asteroids that would kill most species instantly. Inside the station, their targets felt safe behind their expensive shields. The first warning the station had was when their external sensors detected movement. The security chief, a veteran mercenary, looked at the readings in disbelief. "That's impossible," he muttered. "Nothing can survive out there. The radiation alone." His voice cut off as he watched humans in combat suits landing on the station's hull. The impossible was happening right before his eyes. "They're cutting through the hull." Someone screamed over the comm. "How are they surviving the radiation?" "The toxic gases." "Because we're human," Stone replied, his voice broadcasting on all channels as Ghost Team breached the hull. "And you never understood what that means." Inside, the station erupted into chaos. The guards tried to respond, but they weren't prepared for an attack from multiple points at once. The ghosts moved with deadly precision, their Earth-trained reflexes proving superior in every engagement. West section secured, Miller reported. East wing clear, Black added. Central command is ours, Thompson confirmed. Stone walked into the main conference room, where the corrupt officials and mercenary leaders were trying to hide. Their faces showed pure terror as humans entered through walls they thought impenetrable. Please, one Alliance official begged, we have money. We can pay. This isn't about money. Stone cut him off. This is about freedom. Humanity wasn't meant to be caged. Wilson began downloading files from their systems. Got everything, Commander. Names, transactions, secret deals, the whole corrupt network. The mission took less than 30 minutes. When Alliance peacekeepers arrived, they found all the evidence they needed to clean up their organization. More importantly, they found something that would change galactic politics forever. Proof that humans could overcome any obstacle put in their path. You know what's funny? Miller said as they headed home. They spent all this time trying to contain us because they thought Earth made us too dangerous. But they never realized Earth didn't make us dangerous. Earth made us unstoppable. The corrupt officials were arrested. The mercenary groups splintered and fell apart. But more importantly, a new understanding spread through the galaxy. Humans weren't just another species from a death world. They were the ultimate survivors, capable of turning any deadly environment into their battlefield. The breaking point had come and gone. Now, a new era was beginning. One where humanity would take its rightful place among the stars, feared not for their violence, but respected for their incredible ability to adapt and overcome. Mission complete, Stone reported to command. And this time, everyone got the message. 6 months after the space station raid, the galaxy had changed dramatically. Stone stood at the podium in the newly reformed Alliance Council chamber, representing Earth in an unprecedented ceremony. The massive chamber was filled with representatives from hundreds of alien species. Many shifted uncomfortably. It was their first time in Earth standard gravity. The Alliance had adjusted the chamber's settings to accommodate humans, a symbolic gesture that meant more than any speech. Today marks a new chapter in galactic history, the Alliance president announced. We recognize that our fear of Earth's harsh conditions led us to misjudge humanity. The actions of the Ghost teams have shown us that what we saw as dangerous limitations were actually remarkable strengths. Stone looked at his team, sitting in the front row. They were wearing their formal uniforms, but he knew they had their combat gear ready. Old habits died hard. Wilson leaned over to Thompson. Look at the mercenary representatives in the back. They're still scared of us. Good, Thompson whispered back. Fear keeps people honest. The president continued, activating a large holographic display. We are implementing the new human integration protocol. All species classification systems have been updated. Earth is no longer labeled as just a death world. It is now recognized as an advanced evolution world, a planet that creates extraordinarily adaptable species. Black smiled as she watched several mercenary leaders squirm in their seats. Her team had caught half of them in various raids. Now they were here as representatives of reformed security companies. The president gestured to Stone. Commander Stone, please step forward to receive the Alliance's highest honor and share your perspective on humanity's new role. Stone walked to the podium, his footsteps echoing in the silent chamber. He could see the mix of fear and respect in the alien's eyes. 6 months ago, Stone began, we were seen as dangerous animals that needed to be caged. Today, we stand here as equals. But let me be clear, humanity doesn't seek revenge. We seek partnership. He activated his own holographic display, showing the new joint training program. The Ghost teams will now train special forces from all Alliance species. Yes, most of you can't handle Earth-level gravity or radiation or extreme weather. But together, we can combine our different strengths. The display showed mixed species teams training together, aliens using their unique abilities while humans taught them to adapt to harsh conditions. Already, Stone continued, we've seen amazing results. Last week, A mixed human-alien team stopped pirates in an asteroid field. The month before, another team rescued civilians from a volcanic moon. What you feared in us has become our greatest gift to the galaxy. The ability to operate anywhere, under any conditions. Miller, watching from his seat, noticed something interesting. The younger alien officers were leaning forward, excited. They had grown up hearing stories about the legendary ghost teams. Now they had a chance to train with them. But let me also be clear about something else. Stone's voice hardened slightly. While we offer friendship and training, we will not tolerate any more attempts to contain humanity. The ghost teams remain active, ready to defend Earth and our allies. The message wasn't lost on anyone. Several corrupt officials and mercenary leaders were still in prison, their organizations dismantled. In conclusion, Stone said, his voice softening again, "We invite you all to visit Earth. Yes, you'll need environmental suits. Yes, the gravity will be uncomfortable. But come see the planet that shaped us. Understanding Earth will help you understand humanity." The chamber erupted in applause. As Stone stepped down, he saw the Alliance president speaking with Commander Reed, now Earth's military attaché. The first class of mixed species special forces begins training next month, Reed told Stone as he approached. "We're calling them the Phoenix teams, rising from the ashes of our old fears to create something new." Stone nodded, watching the various species mingling in the chamber. Former enemies were now cautious allies. Former barriers were now bridges. "You know what this means?" Black asked, joining them. "No more sneaking around in asteroid fields." "Almost miss it," Thompson joked. "Almost." Stone looked at his team, the original ghosts who had changed the galaxy. "Our job isn't done," he said. "Now we have to teach others what Earth taught us, that the harshest conditions create the strongest bonds, and that any obstacle can be overcome if you're brave enough to face it." As the ceremony concluded, a new era truly began. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, not through conquest or fear, but by showing the galaxy that what makes us different can make us stronger together. The ghost teams would continue to protect and serve, but now they had a greater mission, teaching the galaxy that even the deadliest worlds could create the most remarkable allies. The Deathworlders had become the teachers, and the galaxy would never be the same.